it's go time. Okay, what do I mean by that? All right, there is a fractal that's going around on X. I'm seeing it everywhere, all over, calling for Bitcoin's final move down to $40,000, $38,000. I'm seeing a lot of people calling for $45,000. And I'm looking at this fractal, and this should happen really any day. That this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to play itself out. But I want to recap something. This has been the playbook since 2022. The playbook since 2022, as we saw interest rates go to a level that we've never seen before in Bitcoin's history. That playbook has simply been that 2025 was not going to be this knock your socks off, make all your wildest dreams come true kind of year, but that 2026 was not going to be a typical bear market. And what I've been saying as a result of having that kind of mindset is that maybe 2026 would start out being a typical bear market, that's what they would want you to believe. 2026, typical bear market. Oh, look at how we're going along perfectly, just along with 2022, 2018. See you in the 40,000s, the 30,000s for Bitcoin. And then, this is key, I have been saying for quite a while now that at some point in 2026, we were going to zig while everyone was expecting us to zag. We are within days of that moment where I am thoroughly convinced we are going to zig. And because everyone that I'm seeing on X, all the so-called smart people on X are saying we're going to zag, and this is the time for them to be kept flat-footed. So what does that look like? Okay, here's the fractal. You've seen the fractal throughout this video. I've shown it to you. And you can see, oh no, Bitcoin's going to go down to $40,000. That flush out's going to happen very soon. It's a textbook play, just like 2022. We're following the same pattern. And so what if one of two things happens? What if that doesn't happen at all and $60,200 was just the bottom? Or what if we start that descent? Everyone's expecting, oh, here we go to $40,000, load up on your shorts, and then somewhere in the upper to mid 50s, right around the 200-week moving average for Bitcoin, we just bounce off that, and then we're done. I could see either of those scenarios happening. The scenario that is least likely to me is the scenario that everyone is playing out in their heads of Bitcoin following 2022. And so why? I mean, I've talked about this over and over again. I know this is a new channel, so I'm going to talk about this again. Let's talk about it again. Okay. I'm actually going to read a comment that somebody made on my X account that pretty much encapsulates almost entirely everything that I've been talking about how this market has been flipped and how it has not been favorable towards crypto, but that now we're getting to a point where it will be favorable, it will be more favorable to crypto. And so here's this comment from somebody named Ferbsidian. 2022. So here we are, info from 2022. Oil was at $120 a barrel. Stock market in a confirmed bear market. And I would say a recession, but, for some reason they didn't call it a recession. 2022, rising interest rates, aggressively rising interest rates, I might add. 2022, QT. This is what Ferbsidian says. Let me say this, the beginning of QT, which is even worse than just QT. The beginning of QT. The beginning of undoing all of those excesses that we got in 2020 and 2021, all of the PPP loans, the insane injections of liquidity, not just in the United States, everyone was guilty of this. We have 2022, Coinbase premium negative. In 2022, global liquidity collapsing. All right, so that was the previous bear market. We had these massive deleveraging events that don't have to happen this time around. We had the FTX collapse, the Luna collapse. We had several exchanges collapse, Celsius, BlockFi. We had all of that in 2022. As all of these things were happening, here we are in 2026. Oil at 85 a barrel. I know that oil went up to what, 105, 115, something like that. Currently, oil's at 85 a barrel. The 2026, the stock market is in consolidation. I know that there's plenty of people calling for the stock market to go lower. I am not one of those people. What else do we have for 2022? Neutral interest rates instead of rising interest rates. Neutral and slightly coming down. Maybe not for the rest of this year, but that's not necessarily a bad sign. I mean, look at the 1990s. Interest rates in the 1990s, they came down a little bit and then they were flat, but they were flat because they didn't need to lower interest rates. The economy, at least from appearances, was looking good. And listen, I'm as doom and gloom as they come, but if we're looking at the data that they are providing us with, the economy's not looking that bad. Inflation is, as of right now, not in terrible shape. Unemployment is, as of right now, not in terrible shape. So what else do we have in 2026? Coinbase premium positive, global liquidity slowly increasing. That's the big thing. That's the thing that I've shown charts on other platforms over and over again, talking about global liquidity. And in 2022, it was coming down. In 2026, it is slowly increasing. And so, in the same way that throughout 2025, I know I wasn't perfect in 2025, but throughout 2025, I was just like, this is not the environment where crypto thrives. I'm looking at 2026 and I'm saying the exact same thing in the opposite direction. This is not the environment where crypto suffers. It's just not. Now, yeah, we're down in the first quarter of 2026, but I am very much convinced that by the end of this year, you're going to know without a doubt that this bear market year was nothing like 2022 or 2018. It just doesn't make sense. And I have as much conviction as this. I remember at the end of 2024 getting in arguments with people on live streams. Like, the burden of proof is on you. You think that 2025 is going to be this massive blow off your socks year to make all of your wildest dreams come true. The burden of proof is on you because the economic environment is not the same. And here I am in 2026 having to say the same thing. If you think that this is going to be a typical bear market year, the burden of proof is on you. It is not on me. Open your eyes, look around, and see the broader economic landscape. This may be controversial. In 2024, this is going to be my last point. I started thinking about the battle in 2025 is going to be the economists versus the technical analysis guys. I am more of an economist than a technical analysis guy. In 2021, the battle was between the on-chain analysts and the TA guys. The TA guys destroyed the on-chain analysts. In 2025, the battle was between the economists and the technical analysis guys, because the technical analysis guys were telling you that it's going to be a typical post-halving year, and it was not. The economists were right. In 2026, the economists will also be right. Make sure you choose your side wisely.